Good evening. This is a Multiverse Unlimited live podcast, and we are back after a little break. You know, we all have our lives, and we need a chance to recharge and take a break. Uh, we're going to say hello to the three other uh, hosts tonight. Jay, how are you?
I'm good. I'm swell.
That's good. Swell's always good. Robert, how are you?
I'm feeling good. Happy to be here.
Good. And Mike, how are you, sir?
Mighty fine.
That is fantastic. So, you watch any good boxing fights? Boxing matches lately? So I know this is a little bit outside the realm, but I don't know. That kind of fell into like a scripted show. That
it was for sure scripted.
Yeah. And it wasn't a very good fight. And if you don't know what we're talking about Tyson and Paul. Was it Logan?
Jake Paul, right?
Jake Paul. Like, I'm sorry, this guy was. The only thing I know about this guy is that I don't like him.
That's kind of his whole brand,
dude. I want him to get not even lose. I want him to get hurt. And that's bad. But what did he do before this?
He was just a YouTuber.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
He's a dickhead YouTuber and scams people out of money now.
Ah, okay. So that I believe that I went into that night thinking Mike was going to end it quick. I was like, oh, Mike can beat this guy. This guy hasn't fought anybody, and his list of victories is it's like a circus.
Yeah.
Mike went in there for a $20 million bag, and he followed the script to get his 20. And then he was
hold
out.
His punches.
Yeah.
Several times you could see him.
Yeah, you could see him stop mid-swing. Like, what are you doing, Mike?
So it was after that night. I was like, well, maybe he's just old. He just couldn't, he couldn't get it done. But after watching the tapes and the highlights and the lowlights, I'm like, Jesus, he could have ended him a couple times, and it was just standing there. The guy was dancing around him all night, and I was just like,
I mean, the hardest punch in the fight was during the weigh-ins when Jake stepped on Tyson's foot and Tyson slapped him.
That and early in the first, and then they were saying he had to remember that he was in there, not, it's just a show. And Netflix, man, I give them credit for what they're trying to do, break the mold of what they've been doing, but nobody's mics was working. They he got an ass shot of Mike Tyson.
That was hilarious.
That was crazy.
That was awesome.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, what is happening now? Nobody's microphones were working. We got Cedric the Entertainer calling a boxing match, looking like
Mufasa.
Yeah.
And wasn't Rosie Perez down there too?
Yeah, why is Rosie here? Yeah, Jerry Jones and Michael Irvin drunk, high, or whatever they were partying with that night. It was it was
a couple lines.
Yeah, it was weird, and Bernard Hopkins talking Holyfield,
talking about his legs all night.
It was quite the event. It did look good until the buffering issues happened. I thought it was me, and then you just look to the internet and you can see everybody was having
Reddit
issues.
blew up. Yeah.
Now the girls that fought before,
the girl fight was good.
Man, that was one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Yeah, that girl fight was nice.
Yeah, they looked like they was on the schoolyard. I seen this fight before.
Could have had a few less headbutts, but it was good.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The Puerto Rican girl got robbed.
Yeah, she did
big time.
She, between the score and all those Blanca headbutts that she was taking all night.
Somebody altered the Irish fighter's Wikipedia after the fight and called her a professional headbutter instead of boxer.
Yeah, and that poor girl, her eyelid, that thing was hanging off her face, and I was just like,
yeah, she caught her with a vicious headbutt.
Yeah, and so. We just wanted to talk about that for a quick moment because it was.
That's part of the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, we'll put it on the dark multiverse, the underside of the multiverse there. But that was, it is what it is. And I saw Holyfield. I think he was trying to get Mike in the ring. He's like, "Oh, people want to see us finish the trilogy," and Mike told him, "Our friendship is the third part of that trilogy. It's over.
It's the redemption arc.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah." I don't want to see Mike in the ring no more if he ain't gonna fight.
I didn't want to see Mike that night. I knew how that fight was gonna go. I couldn't turn. I knew not even turn it on. It was just Mike had nothing to gain from that fight.
He had $20 million to gain.
That's all he had to gain with the money. But,
Hey, he can't be broke at this point. Like, he's got the edibles going, and
but edible money and boxing money is probably two different things. I think that quick payday got him out of the house.
Yeah,
go back to the house now and just stay in the house and smoke weed. Him fight this tiger and shit.
Him and Holyfield. He has that business with Holyfield, right? The edibles.
I think he brought him into it. I think he brought Holyfield in or something like that.
Yeah, they did something together. All right. So moving on to more familiar waters. Did everybody here finish Penguin?
We did.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's start with you, Rob. I know that ended a couple weeks ago. It was real quick. I was just really happy with the show. It just kept getting better. But Rob, let's hear what you got to say about Colin. What's his last name?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Okay, I was thinking about Will Ferrell. I'm like, that can't be him.
I'm happy to know that he's willing to do a second season.
Yeah, I saw. I did see that.
Yeah. But no, I can't. I mean, I have no complaints at all, honestly, about this show. I mean, everything was good. The way that they destroyed, parts of Gotham to line up with the movie and everything was really well done. Mm-hmm. I think all the characters were good. Even the new ones, they fleshed them out really nicely without it being super overwhelming. They fit them right into the story without having to stop and have an origin story. And then the only one that we really needed one was for, God, I can't even remember her name now, but Sophia, yeah, her and her prison, her prison stint, and how they turned her into the Hangman after calling her the Hangman. She was never the Hangman until they made her into it. Mm-hmm. But everything was very well written, and it kind of proves that you can do these gritty, street level things, make them rated R, and they're going to be successful. This is the lesson. This is a complete lesson that they learned from the Netflix Marvel shows. They kept it mostly just you can't have street level stuff without getting into the drugs and the sex and the violence, and you have to actually show it. And then I think that's why they were successful, because they went that extra mile and they made it real. They brought it to something that we can all kind of understand.
And that's a good point that you made. I'll comment after you guys have done the realism about it. And I was reminded of the Netflix shows. And maybe some, I won't say Arrow as much, because that got a little fantastical after the first couple seasons, but I know what you mean. Mike, what did you think of the show?
I'm gonna say pretty much the exact same thing I said about the show. What was the other one? Agatha Harkness. It was a good show about a character I didn't give a shit about. It turned out to be way better than I expected. Because I wasn't going to watch the show until I heard y'all talking about it, and that was it. It was pretty much Sopranos and Gotham. It had nothing to do with superheroes for me, but I enjoyed it. I thought Colin Farrell did a great job. I didn't see him at all. When I saw that character, I truly believed it was what it was. Because I really enjoyed it. But it was the Sopranos to me. The first season Sopranos, Tony and his mom had a strange relationship. It was weird. Uncle Junior was fake running. It was pretty much the same show to me. Mm-hmm. But it worked. I enjoyed it. I felt sorry for the kid at the end, but he was a bad guy.
There's theories about that.
Yeah, of course. But he was definitely the bad guy, and we'll get in. It was a good show though. It was definitely a good show. But I'm okay either way. If they decide to do another one or not, I'm okay either way.
Same with me. Jay, what you got? What did you think, sir?
I thought it was dope. I was not expecting anything from it. Like when I first heard it was coming, I was like, Penguin, who gives a shit about that? But then almost like Mike, I heard people talking about it. I was like, all right, well, let me go give it a shot. After that first episode, I was like, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. By the time that fourth episode came, I was like, whoa. Yeah. This series got me hooked. And I think it's refreshing to get a villain who's a villain. He's just evil. There's no redeeming qualities about the Penguin. He's just evil.
And we will
from the time he was born.
Yeah.
He was not a good person ever.
So before we get into the sympathetic into the villains, I just wanted to agree with a couple of you, Mike. You know, I'm a big Batman fan. I've never read an interesting Penguin story in my life, and he's just not interesting to me. This was the most interesting I've ever been with the character. I know I don't know if there were complaints, but jokes about where Batman was. Like, you can't have Batman in it.
He can't be everywhere.
He can't be everywhere. And the show, what you need to show to make it to, what was it, 10 or 8 episodes? Like, it would have been different if his presence was actually felt.
I can't understand the people asking that question. Like, did they watch the Batman? Wasn't he shot a couple times and blown up and everything? So he's probably at home resting.
Well, and the city's flooded. Like to Jay's point, he can't be everywhere. Like, there are more, I guess, more pressing things when they did get to that point. Man, when the symbol went up in the sky, I was like, I lost it there. I was very happy with that. It was a good show. It did remind me of the Netflix, the grime and the realism. Like, if there were blue screens, like, I couldn't see them. Like, I just wanted to see story and some characters. I didn't need any jokes or any humor. I didn't need any special effects. I just needed the story and fleshed out characters. Like, they took their time with almost everybody. Sophia, the Penguin, Vic, everybody. And it made you care about him. If they didn't flesh out Vic, you probably wouldn't have cared that he was killed at the end.
But there's a theory about that he might not actually be dead.
I've heard this one too.
That he might be Nightwing.
I heard. I heard
he might be Nightwing.
I heard the villain twist. But I hope he's dead. I don't want to see that. Just leave him.
If they do him as Nightwing, fans' heads are going to explode. Anger issues. People are like, oh my God, it's going to be riots in the streets. It's over if they do that.
Yeah.
What villain could he be? If it wasn't Nightwing, what villain could he be?
Was Zaz? It was a lot of far-fetched stuff. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, I heard the Victor Zaz thing too.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Just like I heard the people were theorizing. I can't remember the doctor's name, but the one played by Shades, the actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were saying that he might be operating under a pseudonym, and he's actually Dr. Crane.
Yeah, I saw that. The apparatus or his mask or whatever in the back there.
Yeah.
Did they say what villain? I know they were thinking about doing another villain-based show, and the thing I heard was a Riddler Year One. I don't know about that. If the same people are involved, then I'll give it a try because they did a good job making a character who's traditionally not been too interesting.
They even gave him an excuse for the top hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something we're not too familiar with these days. Some a good little story there, and giving us a reason. But let's go into our next topic, which is the villain anti-hero model that's popular with DC. Not DC. Marvel right now. Like I put up a post with Zemo, Thanos, and Killmonger a week ago. It was the dumbest take. It was like it's like the older you get, the more you realize that these guys they were right. First of all, like I hate them trying to make these guys into anti-heroes. Anti-heroes are like Punisher, these guys that like take the law a little too further. Like villains kill people to kill people, like to their own ends. Now, we talked about villains on here before, ones that think they're right, but it's always about the methods.
Yeah, most villains think they're right.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're good.
Right.
Yeah, they're all the heroes of their own story.
Right.
You know, and we talked about Doom before, and I like Sinestro, but he's a killer. And these are villains, and you know, the Killmonger thing, the Thanos. I don't understand people defending Thanos, saying that
right.
He was
first his idea was stupid.
It was.
You just like to kill people. Like the comic book story is as ridiculous as it was, made more sense.
It did.
It did, because they made something he did in issue 2 or 3, which was just a display of his power. They made it his goal. Right. You know, he snapped out half of the population just to show that he could do it and to impress Death, and she was not impressed. And it's like Thanos, like they turned him into an eco-terrorist almost. Like, you know, we gotta get all these supplies because everybody's eating up the food. Like, how about you just make more, make more, genius?
You just like to kill people,
right? You know, it's okay for the villains to be evil. You know, I can't think of anywhere else where they try to push this trope with. Well, they just must understand it. Maybe if you get to know them, you know, they won't be as bad. You know, we've had Submariner the last couple of years. Killmonger was probably the first. Was he maybe the first one in MCU that kind of got
was
that?
Was he the first? Well, I think he was the first one that actually landed. Because they tried that with what's his name? The robot dude.
Ultron.
They tried to make him kind of sympathetic.
Did they?
Because he got corrupted by all like the evil humans were doing, and like.
Oh, he was trying to. The humans are the problem, so I'm going to get rid of the humans, right. And then it was Zemo. Actually, Zemo. Did they try to? Maybe that happened a little more in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show where they tried to humanize.
That was.
You know, like he did a little dance in the club, and everyone loves Zemo. It's like we need more Zemo, and it was Submariner. I can't think of anybody else. Like, I think everyone else was pretty clear. They were trying to kill people.
I still ain't watched that Black Panther 2.
I've only watched it once.
I've only watched it once. And this third one they're talking about, I haven't heard anything, but I'm already uninterested.
If T'Challa ain't in it, I ain't with it.
If it don't lead to T'Challa. If it don't at least lead to T'Challa, I'm definitely not. And they can keep it.
Yo, the next T'Challa is on TV right now, like on Cross,
for sure.
Like that, for sure. That's the next T'Challa right there. Like that's the you know, I don't know what they were thinking that no one else could do the role and there were no other options.
Just emotional, and it's time. I as respectful as I can, it's time to move on. I get the emotional for the first weekend for the casuals, but it's time to move on. I had a guy argue with me yesterday in the lab where I work. Hey, T'Challa's dead. Man, shut that shit up. Stop.
Right.
His son gonna be, man, that little bastard kid is not gonna do nothing. You call him a bastard? He is a bastard. Fuck, that kid don't exist for one. Then he's a bastard. They won't marry. This is what it is. No, this kid is not gonna be anything. I hope we never see that kid again. Like they mouth all drop. Like, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, I said it. I said it again. Piss on that kid. Oh, I hate that kid. I really do. God, not the kid himself, but
T'Challa Jr. Get him out of there.
Yeah.
Nobody want that.
Nobody want that.
In hindsight, it was like, we said it then. It's the reason why Bruce Wayne and some of these heroes have been the same age for about 30 years. Okay?
Right.
Like these heroes are part of the lore or whatever. You can have spin-off characters or whatever, but you can't just be like, because this person died, the character is dead.
Right.
Like, how often do we have Black Panther movies? You know, like, I'm telling you, they didn't like it. We were too happy.
We got too excited.
Like, it was...
Had people walking around like this all day.
Right.
Like,
people didn't even know. Right.
We should have kept it low.
Right. We weren't even dapping each other up back then. We were just doing the Wakanda sign, right? You know,
right. Closest we came to world peace. Somebody said that.
Yes.
Yes. It's the truth during that time period.
And it's like, nah, we can't have this. We gonna make y'all sad. We gonna have this funeral. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just too close to home. Like, the actor died, so you gonna have a funeral for...
Right, for the fictional character.
Right. Like, why?
And casuals can't understand. Casuals can't get that. Am I too far back? But casuals can't understand that comic book deaths are not permanent. No. And people, they want to come back. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm almost to a point where I kind of liked it before and it was just us. It's just,
right.
I'm tired of explaining stuff to casuals. I really am. I'm tired of dealing with casuals. I'm tired of them. Like, go back and ignore it like you've been ignored.
He was about to be on your Go Back to Africa, John.
At least go back to ignoring your shit. I don't need them. I don't need the casuals no more. It's not exciting dealing with them no more.
We're about to hit them with the ice, the comic book ice.
It's like we got like, listen, bro, it's a comic store. You can just start anywhere you want in there. They got applications now. You can download books, man. Like,
yeah, you can. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so it's not going to be a green card. We need like a comic card,
right?
Yeah,
need a test.
It could be like the old Comics Code logo.
We get like the card that the Avengers had. They did a picture and have like a comic book logo on it.
Just you get licensed, so we have to renew it every 4 years.
Right. You got to be able to answer maybe 10 basic questions. Because honestly, we all don't read as much as we used to, but we are aware of what's like going on.
Exactly.
And it's just like a driver's test or whatever. You get it renewed or whatever. It's like just some basic questions.
Like it's honestly quite insane how people do not know the difference between Marvel and DC. There are so many people who do not understand that they are two separate companies.
My kids know that. And I made sure they know that.
Because you raised them right. You raised them right.
They got to. My wife is better than the majority of these casuals. She's looking.
Whenever my wife is shaky talking about wines, when she's shaky with a question, I'm like, listen, you married to me. You got to be able to answer these questions. All right?
Exactly. That's my point. She better be able to handle some of this stuff.
Like,
I'm not even down here right now and ask her some questions. She better be ready.
I'm not even talking about naming Sentinels or whatever. I'm just basic stuff. All right. What's Peter Parker's name?
Right.
I mean, what's Spider-Man's name? I just said, like, what's Wolverine's name? Like, what team is this person on? What publication is this?
Is this DC or is this Marvel?
Right.
Like that. She better know some stuff like that.
She better know.
She better know.
Yeah.
She tried to start a fight with me the other day.
Let's hear it.
She tried to tell me that she was more mutant than I was.
Okay. Okay.
I almost put her out of the damn car.
Why did she say that? What was on her mind?
Just starting trouble. Just I don't even remember what the conversation came up. I know she brought that up. And I was like, no, what? Wait a minute.
She made a bet with somebody that day.
She almost started walking.
Watch me make him mad today.
Exactly.
She said, I know just how to get him.
Get his eggs.
I mentioned Cross. What's my man's name? Aldris Hodges.
Yeah.
I couldn't. It's eight. 8 episodes. I watched 6 last weekend. Couldn't get to it this week. It was just a real busy week, but it's something you guys should check out.
That show is excellent.
Yeah, it was a couple. Did you finish it, Jay?
I'm on the last episode. I haven't finished the last episode.
The one goofy thing that I'm like, what is he doing? Like when he went to the, and I'm going to try not to spoil this, but when he went to the guy's house at the party, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like he kind of lost his cool. I'm like, why don't you just go get a warrant and come back? Yeah, he just lost it. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? When they're kind of basing, this character, he's a smart character, very thoughtful, smart guy, but he just,
he loses it.
Yeah, I was like, why did he do that? But it's a good show. Mike and Rob, I'm not sure if you checked that out yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but
it's good. You should check it out.
Yeah, it's last weekend I was looking for something new to watch after the Penguin and came across that. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And this is probably the second thing I saw him in. But when I was going through Wikipedia, like he was in a bunch of stuff.
He was in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. But he was a good Hawkman. He was a bright spot in the Black. What was the name of that movie?
Black Adam.
Black Adam movie. He
was basically T'Challa.
Yeah.
I can see him as T'Challa. Him and the other guy from I ain't even watched the show, but the dude saying I can see those guys pulling it off.
I know who you're talking about. I want him instead of the other guy. He's like 6 foot plus.
He looked like he's like 6'2" or something like that.
Yeah, he's big.
He'd be he would be a physical presence if they decided to do that. But
who, Alderswood? Hodgwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
check it out. Let's look at let's check the old Googles.
He'd be closer to the archetype of what I would imagine T'Challa being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got 6'1", so not too tall, not too short. 6'1" is tall though, but not that tall. So yeah, he would be a taller T'Challa. I don't know if they have him shave his face or not, but in Marvel, the MCU, Disney, I know y'all got other problems besides giving us Black Panther. They're hiring all this, but
these damn casuals. I can't even get to understand why T'Challa is important. They don't understand why T'Challa himself is important. They don't even get it. Like, why are y'all talking to me? This one guy, my man, what's his name? Finley. I don't care. He ain't listening. He and if you do, I'll tell him I talked about him. Just getting on my nerves. Just coming in. He came in the other day. Why this round get beat up so bad? He still won. I don't understand what your point is, sir.
Why? Who was getting beat up?
He watched Transformers 1. And at the end, when if people haven't seen it, it was D16 became Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
Was putting them hands on him.
Yeah.
I said, sir, he had to come back. He had to prove himself to the Matrix. But why? Why? He still won, sir. Why are we arguing about this? He went on a whole spiel about this.
Yeah,
he brought up John Wick and everything. I don't understand what John Wick had to do with it, but still.
Heroes that always have the upper hand or don't have like a hard time about it, like they don't. It's not interesting. Like,
you have to root for the underdog. You have to. That's the whole point. They have to make the comeback. Like I was playing to him Rocky movies. Rocky's a star, but he gets his ass debacled like the whole thing. And then he'll come back in the end, do his little lip movement and little sideways lip grip, and then he'll win.
After spending the first 5 rounds blocking with his face.
Exactly.
So I watched Rocky. I was actually watching that last weekend. Rocky 1, and I got all the way up to Creed. I'm watching Creed now. But yeah, it's all about that, the comeback. And like, God damn it, like watching Apollo die again and blaming Rocky again. I'm blaming everybody. Like I really am. Like that Creed shouldn't be dead. But like when he was, dude, it's Rocky's so ridiculous, but it's a great movie. So like this is just one of the two funny things. So in Rocky 4, Apollo dies, right? So like instead of like anybody like pressing charges or whatever, like we gotta have a boxing match. All right, like we gotta have a boxing match, and like I'm gonna knock you out, and then I'm gonna feel better about it. And
we're gonna solve world peace.
Right, he had a speech. He was like the leader of the UN after he beat Ivan. He was talking about everybody can change, and we all want people and everything. And he knocked the champion out and everything. And the one after it, when he's fighting Tommy Gunn, this shit cracks me up every time I watch it. Everybody, the cops, no one was to be found. They showed up. They was like, we got to find out who's going to win the fight. All right, like don't nobody, like everybody stopped. Like they just made like a mobile circle around them. Like let them fight. You know, like
we need to find out.
Right. And then like after Rocky like knocks him out on the SEPTA bus, the cops show up. Like you lost, guy. You going to jail. You know, like
whoever loses going to jail.
Right. That's what it was. Like whoever loses the fight is going to jail. And but that's a good franchise, man. And you're right, Mike. You want to see the underdog come back. You know, Will Power and all that.
You gotta have a reason to root for him. If they kicking everybody ass, it's boring.
It is, and
eventually it will get boring.
Honestly, I think that was actually an issue with some of the runs with Black Panther. Like he was just like he had no challenge really. Like you gotta like listen. Like people on the outside looking in on Batman comics, Batman gets
his ass kicked all the time.
The pre New 52 Batman was the most powerful Batman. All right, he was doing ridiculous stuff. Pre New 52, he was a machine. Like he killed Darkseid. He was just doing a whole bunch of like crazy stuff. After New 52, like. Dude, like, you know, the owls ran through him. You know, it was a couple of situations.
Pause.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say something.
Hey, yo.
But, you know, you gotta come back. That's been his thing, really, for the most part. Like, he comes back. He keeps coming. Damn.
Pause.
Shut up, Jeff.
Them young boys be coming.
But you know, Black Panther is always on top of it, man. Like I think the last ass whipping I saw was recent with what was that, Captain America a couple of years ago. When,
he gave that was a weird one.
The sleeper cell story, Mike. Weren't you reading that one?
Yeah. But I remember he had a broken arm or something though. He was like stipulations to that.
Yeah. You gotta see the villain, not the villain. You gotta see the hero struggle a little bit.
I see Captain America. Comic book Captain America is my dude anyway. So Captain America,
okay.
We're not going down that road. But
we're not.
We're not going down that road.
I'm gonna look down the road, and I'm just gonna say this, right? That one post that Lou put up, Cyclops can't cook, man.
Yeah, there's no way.
He can't. And like you talking about casuals, like, and I'm listening to these guys, like he doesn't heat stuff up. I thought like
I was like, whoa, right, I got that real wrong.
I'm like, he ain't cooking shit.
He gonna obliterate the meat.
Yeah, he gonna serve some raw ass chicken,
right?
With no.
He could tenderize it, maybe.
Man, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing from him.
It's not heat vision. It's concussive blow.
Right. So he's just pushing the chicken down the road.
Around.
Right.
He's going to turn that chicken into a diamond before he cooks it.
Right. Some of their choices was kind of crazy on that. Best chefs. The only person that I knew had to be on there was Luke Cage. Like,
Luke Cage.
Right. He said it. It's like if I saw Luke Cage on the grill, I'm like, oh, all right.
Because he'd be the one with the little sandals on too. He had
right.
The grill sandals.
Right.
Like the old man with the girls.
And the thing is, it would probably be in the neighborhood. Like, if he's throwing a party, he might have people there that actually can cook. You know, like, we're going to Luke Cage having a party, like, in the neighborhood. We're going to go around there, and I'm going to help him out on the grill or whatever. But they said Beast. I don't want nothing Beast has.
Beast ain't cooking.
Blue hair in my
hair. Hair all over the goddamn place.
He's going to be cooking with a tank top. We got blue fur all in your food.
And he said no shirt at that. No shirt. His hair everywhere. Come on.
You got to wear a wig just on your beard at some stores.
Did they say
you got to wear a hairnet?
Now, if any X-Men is going to cook, it's going to be I'm eating whatever Gambit cooks.
Oh, Gambit's going to see his nephew up.
Right. I'm eating Gambit. His gumbo is outstanding.
And like Wolverine, I'm gonna say this: like he just been around. Like I know he
could probably he's been around long enough,
right? Like he just probably can cook. He's been all over the world. Like I want him cooking before Cyclops. All right,
yeah. Wolverine. I probably wouldn't want Wolverine in the kitchen. But if we was out in the woods, like huffing it,
if we
he'd probably have he'd probably be able to go to the forest and get like some raw, seasoning, and like crumble it in there. He'd probably hook it up.
He'll come back with a deer and a handful of mushrooms and shit. And he'll cook it up.
And I found some mushrooms over there, chop them up with some venison. Yeah, we probably hook it up.
Not for nothing. Batman ain't cooking my shit neither, man.
Batman could probably cook them.
Oh man,
I put Batman over Cyclops, but I don't see Batman cooking either. He had a butler. Anybody with a butler?
I think if he's hungry, he's eating rations. Like he's not going upstairs. Like, let me go make a steak. And
we've seen Batman sing a ballad. I think he could probably cook. He's probably had to be a chef in some undercover kind of thing.
No, man. Like the mission of vengeance. Like that don't help me get at people cooking.
He had to pretend to be a cook for an Italian mob family. I tell you, Batman could throw down. I'm telling you, Batman could cook.
Batman be sufficient, but I ain't gonna say.
And he got all the ladies. Come on, you can't tell me he ain't cooked some lady as Bruce Wayne. He's like, no, I'm a cook you. I'll cook
Alfred, like Alfred, he don't even probably know what to like. What should I make for it? Alfred, like just go in the cave, man. I got you.
I got this. Go ahead.
I got you, man. Because I don't want you to be by yourself. I want you to make a good impression.
I already got the suit laid out upstairs.
Right. I ain't gonna win this argument. Sorry, Bruce.
And that's my guy. He ain't cooking my food. He just said,
"Sorry, Mr. Wayne."
No, I was trying to think of somebody. I think I would let Superman cook my food. I think I would.
He could actually look and see and know that your steak is ready.
Well, and he grew up on a farm.
His mom.
Yeah. But would you really want like green bean casserole, like whatever he learned how to cook on that farm?
So like he's in Kansas, right? Don't they make ribs out there?
Yeah,
I guess they do got barbecue.
I'm thinking about his region. I'm thinking about how he wants to kind of.
But they got the dry rub, or they got the liquid ribs.
If you tell him what you want, he could read the book real quick, and he could do it.
And actually, he grew up on a farm. They butcher their own hogs. You know how they do stuff like that.
They're like, "No, Clark, I need you to cook it like this." He's like, okay. Go get the ingredients." Right, he could probably actually fly to where the ingredients are and like, let me get it fresh out of the field. We ain't even gotta go to the grocery. Like, I'm just gonna pick it up.
You could put Flash on that same thing too.
Could he cook?
Well, he can memorize things real quick, and he can also run around the planet real quick to get the best ingredients.
He could.
Yeah, he can still front, and if he couldn't, who gonna know?
Some reason, like because he's always late in his personal life, I think he would end up serving burned food. Like he would just, it's like, Barry, why is this shit burned again? He's like, I thought I had more time. Like, no, food's burnt, my guy. So the one other thing I was thinking about, because there's no movies or shows now that Penguin showed up. Ended a couple weeks ago. What genres were we watching before the MCU DC explosion? Maybe this is almost 15, 20 years ago now, in 08. Now, I know we had the Christopher Reeve movies and the Batman movies, but like what movies, what genre were you guys watching?
All the cool sci-fi and fantasy stuff.
Now, specifically, what do you like? You gotta give me specifics.
I gotta go back into
because
where are we talking? Like 2000?
Oh, like you're a little older than me. 80s, 90s, like growing up as a kid.
Back.
Early 20s. Because I remember like
me and Michael Conan heads.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Right. Besides that, fantasy is always been a thing for me.
Dragon Slayer.
Talk about that a little bit, Mike. What were you watching?
Fantasy?
Yeah.
Don't get too real. We don't want to know them fantasies.
No, exactly. No, as you would say, pause. No, homie. No. But I've always Conan set me off in all that, man. Conan and He-Man.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Like, if you got a big muscle guy chopping off monsters' heads, I was right there. That's all I needed to see.
He-Man was supposed to be Conan.
Exactly, he was. A lot of people, he was supposed to be. But you had me right there. I didn't need to know the story. It was monsters and the guy had a sword. Okay, I'm good. Let's chop some heads off. So I just, that, and like Jay said, sci-fi too. I like the good action sci-fi. The Matrix changed my life. That movie was amazing. The first Matrix was amazing.
I was super heavy into kung fu flicks.
Exactly, and the Matrix combined all that.
Shaw Brothers,
Kung Fu, Kid with the Golden Arms, Massive Avengers, all that. Five Deadly
Venoms. I was watching something. What was I watching? And they did a nod to the Five Deadly Venoms, and it was something I wasn't expecting. It was like a kid's show, and they did it was like the Five Deadly Snakes, or it was like something weird. I was like, wait, they doing the Five Deadly Venoms?
You're going to have to...
I have to go back and see it, because it was actually like, it took me back. I was like, whoa. Because these little kids ain't going to know what that is.
No.
For me, it was Star Trek, honestly.
Star Trek.
The originals, doing those movies, and even the Next Generation folks had their movies. But a lot of sci-fi with you guys,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, Star Trek, like anything really sci-fi.
Battlestar Galactica. Well, that was the movie.
Yeah, and that was
get the Aliens movies and like Battlestar.
Yeah, Aliens, and a little later in life,
and all that stuff.
My grandma, who's 100 years old, she took me to see the first Alien in the theater.
Damn.
And took me to see Predator.
See, my dad showed me Predator. Like Predator was like almost like when it's almost like your parents are like testing you. Like,
right.
Let's see how react to right. And like Predator was one of them joints, and I don't know if there was a part where I really like covered my eyes or like I was like, but it was just that movie started out like as a regular commando, like part, the first half was just shoot 'em up and regular stuff, and then it just turned into Survivor with the fucking alien, like chopping people up, and graphic in some ways. And again, that damn Predator movie, Apollo died again. Like
he did. He cannot keep it together.
This shit ain't right. And he got his bicep shot off, and
they gave you the world famous handshake. They gave us like the handshake, memes.
And then he was an asshole in that one. Like he was, what was his name? Dylan.
Dylan. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Then you dropped us in the blender, Dylan.
I grew up in Fayetteville, which is right outside Fort Bragg. They mention that in movies. It's Vietnam heads and SF guys all up and down the street. And Predator came out, from what I remember, them guys walking around like they, Rambo knives and all that. You can't tell them soldiers that they weren't ready to go in the woods.
Right, they was ready.
What? Yeah. My uncle was a soldier at that time. He was active duty. What? We can really do that, son.
He's like, we're going to go in the woods and cover ourselves up in mud.
Right. Like, I believed it at that age. I ain't saying he can't do it now. I'm not saying no soldiers out there, but come on. I'm not.
It's crazy because they almost got him until he started using his fucking laser. They caught him in the net and everything in a Boy Scout, net trap after they pulled the tree down. Schwarzenegger and Apollo Creed and what's the Navajo guy? He's sometimes he was, what's his name in there? Billy. Yeah. Billy died like a bitch. Like he dropped his gun and just had his knife, and then he was doing all that screaming. I'm like,
he's just asking for it to be
Billy
over.
Bear? He was Billy Bear in Trading Places, wasn't he?
Huh? What's that?
Well, in Trading Places, not Trading Places, but 48 Hours. What was his name? Was his name Billy in 48 Hours too?
Oh no, he was in Action Jackson, and he got his ass thrown out the building. But
he was in 48 Hours. Him and Gans. He was the big Indian with Gans. He was in it.
I don't
remember what his name was. I think it was Billy in that too.
The Golden Child. That was my shit.
Yeah, that was on. I keep that on my DVR. Yeah. I keep
Rob's never seen it, and when Terrence was recommending it, he was like, "It's a movie, but it's not a great movie, and I was kind of defending
Child.
Golden Child, and then when I
Golden
watched
Child,
it a couple weeks later, I'm like, Terrence was right. It's if Eddie Murphy was not in it, you're like, what is this shit?
Right.
You know, some movies are totally being carried by an actor. It's like if they weren't in this, like what? The who? Like, no.
There would be no reason to watch Golden Child without Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy. There'd be no reason.
No, they couldn't even put another comedian in there and sell
Yeah,
that.
it had
like,
to be Eddie.
Yeah, had to been. Well, hold on, because every time something Eddie's involved. So what if they did a remake, Jay, and they put your boy in it, Jamie Foxx, who you say is more talented than Eddie?
Jamie Foxx might be able to pull off a remake.
Okay. You would check it out. You would go to the theater for that. Okay.
Now you know Jamie Foxx is talented.
So you hold on. You would go see the Golden Child remake before Black Panther 2.
Yep.
That's wild.
A million times over.
That's
he
wild.
going to see Black Panther 2.
I ain't never gonna watch Black Panther.
At this point, it's the principles and thought.
It's the principle now.
My God, you know, if they do a remake of Golden Child with Jamie Foxx, he's going to have like a part added in on the piano.
He's going to sing or something.
He's like, you got to add this shit in. Like, you just got to do it. I'm not doing the movie unless I can sing.
Or he's going to sing the theme song.
Like Any Given Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, he had a couple songs with that soundtrack. They weren't. You want to know something? To your point, they weren't even bad. They weren't bad songs.
Yeah, he's talented. He sang Serena Williams that ballad during the ESPYs.
Yeah, before Serena.
I want to be a tennis ball before she messed herself up.
Yeah,
looking like the Beauty and the Beast dude.
Yeah, we know this. I know you tried to be subtle.
Like, come on, Serena.
Yeah,
he was all right.
But he was more than all right.
You bring him back to the Predators. He was in both of them. Sonny Landon. He played Billy in both movies.
Okay. What else
he had
was
a knife
he
in both of them. He had a knife in 48 Hours. Remember, that's when he ran up on Reggie with and got shot.
So he got the knife, and he's got that crazy laugh that the Predator recorded and used it at the end of the movie. What else was he in? I feel like he
had it pulled up. Let me pull it right. I pulled him back up. He wasn't in too much. I think he like a center, and he looked like let me see, Sonny Landham. However you say that damn last name. He got 59 credits. Mental Scars, Disintegration, Carnival of Wolves. Ain't shit I ever heard of.
Oh, this is one for Rob. I'm surprised Rob didn't say this. The Fifth Element.
Oh, he was in that.
He was in it for what?
No, I'm not saying he was in. I'm just saying like stuff we used to watch.
Yeah. Action.
I kind of brought it up in between the sci-fi conversation, but yeah, we were all talking.
Yeah. Fifth Element, and like I said, I got a Fifth Element tattoo, but
I've never seen the movie.
You've never seen Fifth Element?
It was our first date movie when we both fell asleep. Me and my wife both.
Oh, that's so cute.
You want to know the first? You want to know the first movie I took my wife to see? This time I knew she was on me. She wanted to go see The Ring. We went to go see The Ring.
Oh, damn.
She don't like horror movies. That's the last horror movie she saw.
Y'all gonna laugh when the first movie I took my wife to see.
What is
she never lets me live it down.
What, Caligula?
Oh, damn. Pause. Keanu.
Oh, what?
With the cat?
Yeah, with the cat.
Oh, wow. She loves you.
Yeah. She's like, there was almost not a second date.
Oh man! All right, so let me get to this because I was really surprised with Robert's response on my page, Multiverse Unlimited on Facebook. So the 3 Spider-Men, right? We got Andrew Garfield, we got Tom Holland's version, and what's my man Toby against Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. The 3 of them against the one Wonder Woman. Robert, why didn't you think that she could win?
You know, it was mostly because the scaling in the DC movies is really hard to gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's done some stuff. Like, she fought Doomsday pretty, easily without, looked like she was just having a blast.
Yeah, no injuries.
Yeah, no injuries, and she held off Steppenwolf pretty handily on her own until Soup finished him off.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like in like Wonder Woman 84, there was really no reason. There was nothing showing off anything that she could do other than the fact that she could fly. And
We don't count Wonder Woman.
We're not
84.
talking. We're not talking about that movie.
But there's been a lot of show in the Spider-Man's abilities, especially in No Way Home. That's the right one, right?
Which one?
Yeah, with all three of them.
With all three of them.
Yeah.
Because, you got to see how they stacked against each other as well, where you saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is a lot more powerful than Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. When they got into that fight, you saw Tom getting just completely destroyed by Green Goblin, and this is the same person that Tobey's fought, and he fought him. They were pretty evenly matched.
That's right. Green Goblin powerbombed him through. I forgot about that.
Floor.
Yeah.
That's the main reason. If we can get some some better Wonder Woman, maybe it would be a little even. But I think between the three of them, that's a lot to handle, especially with their reflexes and their ability to restrain. And then you can't take away Tobey's. You can break their wristbands on the other two Spider-Mans, but you can't stop Tobey's webbings.
No.
But she got a magical sword. She could just cut right through it.
So
Spider-Man punches up. We got to remember the
he don't punch that high up, though.
Yeah, but three of them will be high.
That's a high punch up.
All right, so again, we talking about the movie.
I still think Wonder Woman win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spider-Man did pull it out. But
what is Tobey's best feat of strength?
Was that holding at the
Probably
bus?
stopping that train.
That almost killed him.
Right, he passed out.
What? And I don't Holland Spider-Man can't fight, so he can't. And like Tobey's right after. I actually think Andrew Garfield's was the better fighter out the three. But Wonder Woman. Jay, why did you think Wonder Woman would win?
She's stronger than all three of them put together. She's faster than all three of them put together. She's tougher than all three of them put together. She's a warrior since birth.
Trained, right?
Yeah, she's a warrior since birth. Ridiculous fighting skills. She has magical weapons. Mm-hmm. I just don't see any way that they could beat her. Even like it would be like how Superman was fighting the Justice League in the Justice League. That's what it would be.
That's kind of fair. That's fair. That is fair.
Okay.
Like she would see the webbing coming in slow motion, just be like, okay.
You know what? She actually would. Yeah.
Now she could see bullets in slow motion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I remember her seeing the bullets coming and everything. And just her durability. Like, again, we're not talking about Wonder Woman 84. But like,
yes, that's stricken from that's redacted.
Right. But fighting Doomsday, the way she was, like
she was happy.
She was happy. She just was like, "Oh, this is fun," and she walked away from it. Batman, Superman were all dusted up, and she was just like, "This is."
The only thing that would save the Spider-Man is the spider sense.
Wait,
like that's it. Like they would have their heads lopped off instantly if it wasn't for their spidey sense.
So. Tom Holland, he didn't. Did he have a spider sense? I know he eventually got it, but
yeah, they call it the tingle, Peter Tingle. But
yeah. It'd be good. It could go either way though, but just because of the numbers. But I just don't.
Yeah, I still vote Wonder Woman. But if they pulled it off, I wouldn't be like. I'd be okay with it because it is still Spider-Man. It's still Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he beats people he shouldn't beat all the time. And
Holland Spider-Man is going down first.
Oh yeah, that kid is going.
Oh, and we're kind of still in the Me Too movement. They ain't gonna let Wonder Woman get beat like that. She ain't gonna get beat.
It's funny. Like you could say that Spider-Man in the comics would be a little more powerful, but then you would have to say the same thing for Wonder Woman too. So like I'm
worse in the comics.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the contest.
She's planet busting in the comics.
It's not even a contest there. The only chance they got is in the movies. That's it.
All right. So we talked about that. Do you guys have anything you're watching, reading right now? Wait. I'm sorry. Before we get into that, Rob, you didn't want to talk about Red One, Dwayne Johnson?
Oh yeah, you did see that.
Oh no, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I thought you did.
I wanted to hear him hate. That's all.
Oh no, I'm
Did
just listening to.
I
don't think so. I think somebody.
It'll be on
maybe
Amazon
the
soon
page has
enough.
seen it, but yeah, any reason to laugh at my boy is his ass. He used to be anyway until he kind of I know he confessed to being late all the time and peeing in bottles, but his explanation like it is just something that happens. Like no, it doesn't. You go to the bathroom like an adult. Like you're not a freaking long haul trucker, who's driving a car for 20 hours. You can go to the restroom.
Yeah. You can use the bathroom before you come to work because you're late anyway. So use the bathroom.
And I think they showed some videos of him as
Maui,
what was his character? Maui?
Yeah, I've seen
it. It is. Yeah.
So what happened with The Rock? Because he was bankable. He was making good movies.
His ego. That's what happened to him.
I think
it's
so.
money, and I think it's just basically money took control. You can't see anything that he does on any of his social medias without a bottle of his tequila sitting next to him. He's always got to be marketing with everything that he does. I think he's coming back to WrestleMania this year. So, I'm not sure.
Well, no, didn't WrestleMania pass already? You talking about next year? You're right. You're right. I know. I see what you're saying, Robert. My bad. Like we're late in the year. We are talking next year. Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, at this point, I think he's just banking up what he can before his body and the steroids get out.
Before his PP completely shrinks.
So the other part of that was the of the movie. That movie cost $230 million.
For real?
And it's made like 35, I think, right now.
Yeah, like why are these budgets going up? And it's just like what are
they laundering that money? That's what they're doing.
Like, this is what Disney's doing. Like nobody's making notes that Disney put this out. Like maybe we should cut some stuff back or be more conscientious of. It's like they lost the value of $1 here, and it's like the budgets are going up. You're never going to make any money like with certain if you go past a certain number. I think like you're going to get all this money back in the streaming age,
right?
Like people don't want to go to the
age, right? They don't go to theaters like they used to.
Your money.
I'm a dinosaur in that aspect. I love the theater.
I do too. But it's only a couple movies that's going to get me to go out there, and it's like when is that streaming? Okay, that's when I'll.
That's how I am now.
Yeah, like for me, I don't do the late. I don't know the last time I went to a movie theater when it was dark outside. I go Saturday morning, like 11, 8. 11, 10 o'clock. I'm out of there by like 1. And like I go all the way out in the boondocks. I don't like the crowds and I don't like none of that anymore. And it's going to be a superhero movie that always gets me out. I think the last time I went was Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that was
you didn't see Venom at all?
Oh no, that's not getting me out the house.
Have you seen Venom, Rob? How is the last Venom? Is it as bad as I thought it would be? What is?
It's just another movie. It has its moments and it tries, but it's really just a last hurrah. Like I didn't even think they knew what they were doing for the first third of the movie because it was just very meandering. But towards the end, they pulled out some stops. It was pretty fun there. But again, Sony has no idea what they're doing. Any
null impact?
No, nah. He was a doctor. He was like a Dr. Claw, basically. He was at the beginning saying his big plan, and then when it was foiled, he was at the end of the movie being like, "No, darn you! I'll get you next time, Venom. Next time."
Oh man, there was a lot of hype, a lot of press for that.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good, but and Tom Hardy puts on a good show. He's having fun. He's doing his best, but the rest of the movie doesn't really, kind of falls apart without him in there.
I was about to ask y'all something and I forgot it. Should have wrote it down.
You were asking what else we were watching earlier.
Yeah, we can go to that while I think about that. What are you guys watching? What you reading?
I'm watching the new Dragon Ball series right now. So far, it's very boring, and it is like when it was first announced, they had kind of teased that, oh look, the gang has got wished to being kids again, and they have to go on this adventures, and it was very reminiscent of how GT was. It was the same thing. The Pilaf gang, accidentally wished for Goku and all of his friends, or Goku, to become a kid, and they had to go traverse the universe to try to find those Black Star Dragon Balls to bring them back. And now, a new ruler since Dabura died during the Buu saga, there's a new leader of the what do they call it? The Demon Realm. And he wished anybody who fought Buu to be turned into kids, so he wouldn't have any challengers. And now Goku and the gang are off to their little adventures trying to find Dragon Balls again. So it's very reminiscent of GT, despite what they wanted to. So it needs to do something. I will say that the animation is very, very good. It looks crisp, very clean. The very few fight scenes that we have been pretty good. But it just needs to do something.
Okay. Mike, what you got?
I'm reading a lot of comics right now. I'm reading Captain America, but so far it's kind of slow, but it has its moments where it's decent. I picked it up because of the writer, the JMS. I can't say his name, but he wrote a really good Spider-Man run a while back. So I picked it up because he was writing it. But it's decent. As far as TV, when I'm watching it, I just finished season 3 of The Boys. I just finished that.
What you think?
It was all right.
How did that season end? What happened?
The Soldier Boy was there, and he takes forever to blow up. He blew up. I think Maeve pushed him out the window, but
that was a good season.
Homelander and his kid showed up. I'm not understanding that relationship with Butcher and the kid in Homelander. I'm not really understanding that.
So Homelander kidnapped
his wife.
The kid is the son of Butcher's wife.
Right.
Yeah. That Homelander raped graped.
We can't say raped?
No, not on YouTube.
Graped.
Yeah. So the Butcher has an emotional tie to the kid because it's his wife's kid. And Homelander is, it's his kid. And it's like the only person he thinks is on his level. So
Homelander's weird.
Homelander's scary, man. He's one of the few characters I was like, you're like, what the fuck is he about to do?
Because you never know.
And it's not gonna be painless or neat, I should say.
Yeah, it's gonna be bloody. He's gonna make a scene.
But that season when that's when Butcher was taking the shots.
Yeah,
that was a good season.
10V.
Yeah, you need to see the repercussions of that the next season.
Would you take the shot if you could to get superpower?
Hell no, I would not Temp V. Maybe us not the Temp V is scary.
I take MGH, mutant growth hormone, but I ain't taking no damn Temp V.
It would be cool if you knew what power you were gonna get,
and
not just some random power, like like Huey teleporting naked or whatever.
The guy with the long schlong there,
right? That's a hilarious power.
Yeah, and
Hero-gasm. The Hero-gasm was hilarious. My man, MM. That shit had me.
Something's always happening to him, man.
Oh my God. That whole Hero-gasm for MM was hilarious. Every time he turned around, there was something in his face skeeting on him. It was horrible. It was horrible for him.
He makes you uncomfortable for him, like watching it. You're like, not that you need much help to feel bad, but it's like
Yeah. So,
Yeah, let us know when you finish the next season, because that's the crazy season. That's as wild as and weird as that sounds. That one got crazy. And what's the show with the kids? What was that?
Gen V or something? Was that what it was?
Gen Z.
Was it Gen
Wait,
Z?
no,
Gen
V.
It was V. Yeah.
they had a spinoff?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was a good season. You should probably watch that before the next season. That was a good show too. I remember what I was going to say. So the countdown before we get actually, Jay, you go ahead and tell us what you've been watching and reading.
I haven't been watching or reading much of anything really. I wanted to get into that absolute stuff, but I still might.
They said the Batman issue did really, really well.
It sold like 4 million copies or something crazy.
I bought a copy, but I haven't read it yet.
So I might get into that. I've just been watching stuff and drawing lately, so I haven't really been.
What you been watching?
What's the last thing I watched?
You watching Cross?
Watch Cross. Almost done with Cross. Penguin. I gotta start watching. What's it called? The animated joint. The one that on Netflix with the video game.
Arcane, yeah.
Arcane, yeah. I have to watch that. That's on my list. Yeah, there's a couple things I need to watch. So I'm planning on getting into that stuff if I don't fall asleep.
Well, I have
a lot of anime. Well, not as much anime because this season of anime is kind of whack. So, a couple things.
I'm behind on a lot of comics, and I've got them purchased. They're just sitting there. I did read. I'm current with Transformers, which is still good. Avengers, it's finally picking up some steam after around the time Storm is joining them. They had an issue with the Hyperion, which looks interesting. Hyperion. Like the art's finally picking up and the story a little bit. But the other thing I've been watching is Voltron, Legendary Defender. That's getting ready to go off of Netflix, and I actually read that they're still negotiating the license or whatever, so they don't know where it could end up. But that show was really good.
You know, it's wild. I was watching that with my kid because I just gave him my old Voltron toy. He was like, "Let's watch Voltron." I was like, "All right." So he's into that now.
It's a perfect show. I was watching like highlights of some of the episodes that were really good. They were all good. I don't want to make it seem that way, but it was a lot of storytelling, a lot of world building, a lot of character building, and good art. And they had a beginning and an end. I think that's something that's important with stories. And at this age, I know when we're younger, we want shows to go on forever and ever, but we've all suffered from that when we see what happens when a show just does not end. You get to a point where you're hoping it ends, and that's kind of where I am with Cobra Kai, because that season dropped last week and it came and it went, and nobody blinked an eye. Kids are too old. The story is getting a little zany, and it was really grounded as much as it can be grounded for that franchise, but it needs to end. And I thought this was the last couple episodes, but they stretched it out some more. So I think it's January or February. It's got to end.
I think that needs to be more than 2 or 3 seasons.
It should have ended after they beat Terry.
Yeah.
It should have been it right there. Now they're on some worldwide Street Fighter tournament, and it's like, why? Why is this happening? And they're digging up Miyagi's past, and he killed somebody, and I'm like, are we really surprised by this? It's a different time when he was fighting or whatever, right? But he killed somebody in I didn't even blink an eye.
He was in the Kumite.
Yeah, he was in the fight. Yeah, he was in a Mortal Kombat tournament and he killed somebody. But that show, it needs to end. But back to back to Voltron real quick. It was just I know at the time when it came out, people the old school fans of Voltron were kind of bucking at some of the compliments that the new show was getting, and it blows the old show away. It was one of the rare,
100%.
It's one of the rare times when it just did more than the original show did. And
the thing about Voltron, old heads, is Voltron is better in memory than it actually was. And you think about it, we were 82, 83, so I was 7, maybe 8. Mm-hmm. It was amazing then.
Yeah.
But you go back and rewatch it, it's a little rough. It's still decent, but it ain't.
And then when you realize how they put it together, it was just a mismatch of another show.
Right.
And like, let's be honest, like, we were waiting for them to get back into the Lions, like the whole show.
That's all we cared about.
And like the Legendary Defender proved early, they had 2 episodes where they didn't step 1 foot into a lion. There was a blackout at the castle. It was like they were fighting, and it was strong episodes. They had strong episodes where they don't go nowhere near the lions. And it's not row beast after row beast. Now when they got down and was fighting other enemies there, they were good fights.
Yeah.
Like really, and we talked about Hero struggling, and this Voltron struggled, whereas we all knew how it was going to go down in the old school Voltron.
Blazing sword.
Right. Like, I don't even know why they was playing around. He was shooting missiles and everything else, and then when he just got tired of playing, it was like, it's blazing sword time, and it was over. Like, there was no blocking the blazing sword. There was no dodging the blazing sword. Like, you were getting diced, and it was a one shot, and it was over.
There's only 2 real critiques I have for Legendary Defender.
Mm-hmm.
That the theme song sucked.
It did.
Theme song was terrible. I knew they couldn't get the rights to the original one, but they should have did something, because that theme song was terrible.
Yeah.
And the one time where they brought out the blazing sword, it wasn't as dramatic as it should have been. Like, they didn't say form blazing sword. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, form, and then it was like a flame sword, and then he just chopped the boy.
Well, if I remember correctly, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, it wasn't on fire when they first used it.
No,
like,
it wasn't on fire the first time.
Okay.
But it was after the dude got his was it the bayonet thing, where he like
from Zarkon,
fully unlocked the Black Lion's powers,
right? And
then he pulled out the blazing sword, but it wasn't like you don't even remember it. That's how undramatic it was. Like,
you're right, because everything was about the unofficially. It was like, you might as well cue the credits on the original show when he took out the blazing sword, and I know what you mean.
He had a whole animation dedicated to the blazing sword.
Right. Even the transformation. Now, I could watch them transform all day on the original one, and like the music and, like that weird cross, the Wakanda Forever thing they did. Like, all of it was great. But before Form Blazing Sword, it was just like, all right, let me go in here and make this or whatever. And it's just, you was just waiting for them to form.
Right.
And Mike's right. It was some things are better in memory. I dare say some seasons of Transformers is like that.
We're not going down that road. But
that third season was rough. It was rough, man. But it's still my shit. Still my shit. But yeah, Voltron's going off as of right now. But it was the 6th or the 7th. I'll be sorry to see that.
I'll be sorry to see that go.
I hope it ends up somewhere soon.
It looks like you can buy it on disc.
Oh, you can?
And on Prime.
Robert, I pay for streaming. I need somebody to give it to me for free.
I'd buy the disc.
No, I would buy the disc too.
I'm all in the physical media nowadays.
No,
I just don't trust these streaming services.
Well, exactly. And like, I don't know why we're surprised with Netflix. Netflix just canceled shit because they just want to piss people off.
Right?
Hey, let's just cancel this one.
Like, that's a good show. Why you canceling it?
Right. I'll never forgive them I'll never ever forgive them for canceling the Get Down, which was my shit.
Yeah, that show was good.
Like that was. There's a cancel it. People like it. But Cobra Kai, and I like that show too. But it's going on its 20th season with teenage kids. These kids are going to have kids.
They ain't kids no more. They 30 years old.
Yes.
They're the same age as the Stranger Things kids, all 30 years old in middle school.
Yeah. Like, you are they really going to bring back 11 and play this child? She's a grown woman now. All right? Like, well, I just wanted to bring that up. The love for Voltron, Legendary Defender, specifically. I watched the last episode today, and I forgot they left little breadcrumbs for the Voltron, the vehicle team. And there's no word that they're gonna do that, which is a shame because I would like to see them do to the vehicle Voltron what they did for the Lions.
When you say them, I mean that studio. I want to see them, that whole company do it. I don't want to see anybody else.
I don't want to see nobody else do it. No,
I want to see them because they did what they did with Legendary Defender, which is great. That's the Avatar crew, there, right? They did Avatar. They did.
Was that the same crew?
It looks like the same artwork. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like the same artwork, the same style. I mean, I'm gonna trust one of y'all to look at it better than I could, but it looks like the same shit to me.
Yeah. They put their foot in that one. You could tell the crew that did that had some actual.
It's one of those things like who's cooking it? And
that's gonna be good. It's so and so and so. That's the kind I got faith in it. If it's there.
Right. You said Cyclops cooking? Nah.
Cyclops ain't gonna have no season.
If he holds his eyes small enough, he can generate heat. Yes, sir.
Cyclops gonna boil the chicken. Velveeta mac and cheese.
Velveeta's good, sir.
With breadcrumbs on the top.
Serve as butter noodles and wheat toast. God, this don't even match, brother.
He bringing the potato salad. Yes, sir.
Now Storm can cook. Storm can cook.
Can't Storm cook though?
Can't. Why?
She too goddessy.
But she was from the hood. She was in the streets.
Yeah, but
you know what? I won't even argue with you with that one because I'll take that back. I'll take that back.
I don't know.
I haven't seen any.
She's too much of a. She too bougie.
She's too bougie to cook. Okay. I won't fight you on this one.
But speaking of Storm, nobody mentioned that she had the dopest character design upgrade in the history of comics. Am I the only one who noticed it?
I noticed it once you said it, and I was like,
yeah. I noticed it in the Avengers comic. I'm like, oh, she looked good here. Somebody who, it's just a better look for her. Like I can't even describe the difference, but she does look.
And they started drawing her hair like clouds.
See,
and it's so subtle. You don't even peep it. And I was looking one day. I was like, wait, they've been drawing her hair like clouds for how long?
And it's like, why haven't they been doing that? They
drawing
hair like that.
It's like a perfect upgrade.
It does. It fits it.
And it's dope.
Yeah, she's my favorite mutant right now. She kind of got smart with Cyclops and Avengers. Kind of like they give it to him, girl.
She always be giving Scott the business though.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an issue. She was talking to him. She was like, neither one of us is going to be taking orders from each other. And Cyclops was like, yeah, you're right. And then he was trying to cut in on the Avengers, and she was just like,
Hope. I ain't even ready yet, but I'm pretty sure she was like, Hope, nope, we're not going to need this here.
Yeah. She was just like, just chill, man. Like,
Are they doing another crossover? Or
they're supposed to.
I don't want them to.
Yeah, they're supposed to. But Storm's back with the Avengers right now.
I don't need them to do no more crossovers. I don't need them to handshake. Just go, you got this side of the world or universe, I got this side of the universe. Stay over there.
Yeah, I don't know why the X-Men and mutants just don't go find their own little planet.
They did.
They do, but they did.
And then they fucked it up.
Yeah.
It's just like unbelievable.
Like y'all had it made. Y'all want to go act crazy. Talking about y'all rule the solar system.
Here we go. I'm not going down the road, Mike. It's not me. All right,
I ain't doing that shit with him. It's 11:30. You talking to me about this shit?
But tomorrow, they had to know what was going to happen after that.
Y'all gonna see a blank screen about 2 goddamn seconds.
You
I ain't got energy for this.
You supposed to be a mutant, Mike. You ain't saying that.
You
You ain't telling them to stop.
We're not fighting this fight no more. Goddamn.
You ain't telling them to stop. Like, look, y'all tripping.
What can I do to tell them to stop? I ain't even fighting in the quiet circle. They don't let me in the house.
It was too many villains on the council, whatever that thing was.
They had a whole planet to themselves. They did terraform Mars.
Now that was probably one of the more impressive things I've seen them do.
Now that's a feat.
It is.
Yeah. They explain where that guy came from or where he went. What happened to him? The old fisherman.
Oh, I don't know. See, you need Terrence for that one.
He got ghosts. I haven't seen him.
All right.
Y'all mutants is foolish.
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing from them. I don't want to hear any complaints from them.
They can't even complain no more.
Yeah, y'all had Mars and an island.
Y'all need to get persecuted now. At this point,
when you read more of Iron Man and shit, Iron Man's Fall of X was the best Fall of X. Period. It was way more interesting than the X-Men Fall of X. it just made more sense. It was better written. It was just like, wow, okay, he's really dealing with Fei Long and Orcus, and it just explained it a lot better. I enjoyed it, and it was like months later, a year later, when I finally got to read it, like, wow, that Iron Man last series made me put the new Iron Man back on my list. I haven't read Iron Man in years. Same. But just the way he handled it, I was like, oh, wow, I like this.
That's not fair. Iron Man always been a B character. Ain't nobody read that shit.
Exactly. He's been a B character into the movies.
But I read him when he was director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't read since, and that was like over 10 years ago.
Exactly.
The last time I read, when I read, it was Living Laser was like his main villain. That's how long ago I read that.
How long ago was that?
That was like the 80s.
It's funny you say that because Living Laser was in his last run, too. But it was pretty cool though. I like this last Iron Man run. That's why it's on my list again, my pull list again. And like I said, his run with Emma Frost and the whole Fall of X, he smashing that was interesting. I really enjoyed that.
Right, maybe I'll check that out.
The Fall of X in general, as we want it. I told y'all from the beginning years ago that I was not a fan of Krakoa. I never said that. So you ain't never heard me say Krakoa was good. You ain't never ever heard that. So that's where to point that out, and then y'all can say good night. God damn it.
All right, we're going to say good night. We'll end it with that. Maybe next week we'll talk about the Watchmen show that dropped a couple of us.
Y'all maybe some Arcane.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, we will.
I'll be here, but I ain't gonna watch Watchmen. I'm good.
Might be surprised. I'll let you know.
Yeah, y'all let me know, then I'll decide from there.
Give it a shot.
Yeah. What else am I watching? I got like a week and a half of vacation coming up. I'm hibernating.
Anybody gonna try to see Gladiator?
No.
Terrence saw it. I saw his review, and I'm not going to go watch it now. He said it was just okay.
Okay.
From what I hear, we've already seen it with the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. There is an expiration date for sequels. All right, it's within 5 years.
And there's some movies that just don't need a sequel.
Yeah, like
Ridley Scott needs to stop fishing in his toy box and just retire.
Like that was a perfect little beginning, middle, end.
Like, why don't you want to see Gladiator 2? Maximus is dead.
He's dead. He can't come back.
He's Craven's father right now. All right, guys. That was the last joke for the night. And again, we have a Facebook page. What's it called? Multiverse Unlimited. We're on IG also. But click and subscribe. Recommend us to a couple of comic geeks, friends that you know. Those that listen, we appreciate it. And we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Excelsior.
Peace.